moved about a foot, no chance. Hi, I'm Rob Davies at the Abbey Hotel Golf Spa. In this video we're going to show you how to get out this real thick rough and the first cut as well. Let's raise your game. So for the purposes of this video, we're assuming that we've found some really long rough off the tee on a long par 4 such as this. This is the stroke index 1 12th hole at the Abbey. Really thick stuff off to the right hand side. We've still got over 200 yards to go to the hole, so we've got to try and move this ball on as far as we can. It still amazes me how many people reach automatically for their hybrid club, because they also call it a rescue, and actually try and attempt to get out of this sort of stuff with it. It's not going to do it for you. When you're in this sort of thick stuff like we saw at the US Open last week at Erin Hills, you need some loft, no matter how good a golfer you are or how strong you are. So you need to be chucking that hybrid away and picking out one of your most lofted clubs in the bag. So I've got a 58-degree wedge here. So that's how we're going to get out of this. Right, so if we've made the decision to take this shot on, because obviously you do have options, you could declare it unplayable, back to the tee, 2 club lengths, no nearer the hole, or taking it back in line with the flag. Sometimes that is not really an option, but again, for the purposes of this video, we're going to presume we're going to take this shot on. So I've selected my 58-degree wedge here. I'm looking at really the shortest route back out onto the fairway. I'm going to kind of just take my medicine. Let's try and get it back onto the short stuff, or at least the first cut, give ourselves a decent opportunity. Again, it's a stroke index 1 hole, so most, well, all handicap golfers are going to have a shot on it. So first thing we're going to look at is trying to make sure we get a slightly steeper angle of attack. So we really want to sense that we're going to pick this club up a little bit more vertically. Certainly if you're a hooker or a drawer of the golf ball, you'll definitely want to feel as though the club is coming upwards a lot steeper than your normal action. I would also grip the club tighter, because this stuff can really snag the club up. So definitely feeling that you're gripping that club twice as hard as you would do normally. It's picking it up steeper, really focusing on hitting down and through into the bottom of that golf ball. There's going to be some grass hit before it, no doubt. And you're probably going to be a bit restricted into your follow through, but got that nicely back onto the middle of the fairway. If I'd have tried anything with less loft, there's every chance the long grass would have snagged that club, potentially turned it over. Very unpredictable. So the key is loft, steep, hit down, gripping that club tighter. So thankfully the really long stuff here at the Abbey is when you're way offline. We're now going to look at when we're kind of sat down in your first cut of rough, if you like. We have options now. And this does depend a little bit on circumstances such as your ability, the current situation that you might be in during your round, and again the hole you're on as well. So again, stroke index 1, you'll probably have a shot, maybe 2. So you can be a little bit cautious, particularly when it's sat down at the bottom of that grass there. Again, it's going to be a bit unpredictable. So what I'd advise, if your, say, average 7-iron distance is around 100 to 125 yards, then still go for some loft. Get yourself back on the fairway, fairly short route back on, play it sensible. If your 7-iron's closer to 135, 145, then you could be a little bit more adventurous and go towards 8, even 7-iron. And obviously then if your club head speed gets your 7-iron out towards 160, 170, then again you can go with something a little bit less lofted. In that situation I can only see half the ball, but I still got to move this ball way past 200 yards, so this is a situation where perhaps the hybrid club could do the job for me. Technique wise, will be quite similar to how we played out the long stuff. We're going to again grip the club a little bit tighter than normal, just to try and help with any bit of extra twist that might happen through catching that grass first. I would have the ball position maybe a bit more central than if we're on a nice lie on the fairway, and I would still be encouraging a slightly steeper feeling angle of attack into the golf ball. Again, I would encourage you to be quite aggressive, get some speed through. That's great, that's come out quite low chasing up there, not far short of the green. I'll take that all day. Okay, so I'm going to hit 5 shots now, all from very similar sort of half buried lies in this first cut of rough with my hybrid club. It's often talked about that the club will twist over more often than not. So we're going to hit 5 shots now. I'm going to aim pretty much up the middle of the fairway, and we'll see where they end up. Okay, quite interesting that. That last one was definitely the best one. Stayed pretty much bang down the middle. One I didn't get hold of at all. Still finished down the middle. The other 3 all finished left side, even just running into the rough. So 3 out of the 5 definitely twisted over. So I would definitely advise, maybe particularly if there's trouble left, when you're playing out the rough, just aim yourself a little bit up the right side. Okay, so a look at a couple of different options out the rough there. The really thick stuff, it's all about loft. Don't try and get your rescue club out. Go with your wedge, play it sensible. In the first cut, if it's sat down a little bit, there's obviously variance there depending on what sort of situation you are in your round and what kind of club head speed you've got. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found it helpful. Post your comments down below. If you'd like to ask any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Please subscribe to the usual social channels, and I look forward to catching you next time. Cheers.
Oh, fist bump. Yeah! That was a great shot, well done. Oh, nailed it, mate.
That was good, wasn't it?